So one of the things we're going to show here today is how we can securely onboard a user and then allow them to do their Windows login securely. And the goals of this demonstration and the goals of this technology is to be able to onboard an employee without ever giving them a password, which is really important, right? We want to be able to give an employee access to the systems without having to share a password to them over the phone or, God forbid, an email or snail mail or something like that. And we want to be able to enable them to access their laptop in a purely passwordless manner from day one of their employment. So let's jump into the demo here. So what you'll see here is on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see the user's phone, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see their laptop. And this would be their corporate issue machine. If it's their first day on the job, they probably have never logged into this computer before. And so we're going to show how an employee, let's pretend that they are working from home and they're a remote employee and they just got their laptop in the mail and they need to access the corporate system. This is the process that they would undergo, in this case with HYPR. All right, so on their phone, on their first day of work, they will get an email address that says, click this link and here's your corporate email. Welcome to the company. Here's your email address. So what they'll do here is they'll get a text message that says, verify yourself. They'll click that link and they'll be told like, hey, you need to, in order to onboard you, we're going to need to verify your phone number, your location, and your government issued document. Okay. And then we'll give you a credential into the enterprise. So they'll go through the HYPR verification process. This is what we call HYPR Affirm. They'll put in their email address that was sent to them to their personal email, typically on their first day. In this case, it's a very long email address. So they'll put in their email address. They'll be asked to verify their phone number, right? So I will verify their phone number just over an SMS OTP. And we don't really depend on this SMS OTP for security. It's more in order to stop automated attacks against the system. We'll ask this individual to share their location, and then we will ask them to verify their government issued document. So in this case, they're going to be asked to validate their driver's license because they're in the United States. So they'll take a front and back picture of their driver's license, and then they'll be required to also take a selfie that will match the picture of the selfie with the picture of their driver's license. And once they do that, this incorporates liveness detection into it and incorporates several checks on the document itself. But once the employee is actually verified in this case, they will get an option to enroll their credentials. So remember, they're only doing this once, right, on their first day at work. So once they're verified, they'll get an option to enroll into HYPR. And this will essentially register a FIDO credential with the organization's Microsoft or Entra infrastructure, and then they'll be able to use that credential to access their work computer. So the employee was just registered. They'll be able to now open up their laptop. They'll scan a QR code on their laptop, and as soon as they scan that QR code, they're going to be authenticated into that endpoint. So this is how a business can ship a laptop to a brand new user, onboard them securely without having to ask them for some knowledge-based questions or give them a password over the phone or something similar, and then securely bootstrap a credential and then have them log into that computer without ever having to set up a password.